Jai Swaminarayan. At the core of all Gruhastha followers of the Swaminarayan Sampradaya lies the Panch Vartman, the 5 guiding principles that accompany and lead them throughout their lives. Today, we'll take a closer look at the Panch Vartman, specifically for Gruhastha followers, why we need them, how each of them shapes the lives of the followers of the Swaminarayan Sampradaya, and the significance behind each one. Firstly, I will state each of the Panch Vartman. Number 1, never consume intoxicants. Number 2, never consume meat. Number 3, never commit theft. Number 4, never commit adultery. And number 5, never consume impure food that has not been prepared with the utmost sanctity. So, why do we need the Panch Vartman? That's the natural question. Well, the Panch Vartman are needed to do the following things. Firstly, to maintain a pure body, otherwise known as Deh Shuddhi. Secondly, to maintain a pure mind, otherwise known as Man Shuddhi. Thirdly, to maintain a pure soul, otherwise known as Atma Shuddhi. And finally, to maintain a pure conscience, otherwise known as Antakaran Shuddhi. So now that we know what the Panch Vartman are and why they are needed, let's take a closer look at each of the Panch Vartman one by one. The first of the Panch Vartman is to never consume any intoxicants, which can be anything from tea or alcohol to tobacco. Furthermore, we're prohibited from consuming alcohol or any intoxicating substances for that matter, under any and all circumstances, even in the form of life-saving medicine. The reasoning behind this Vartman is that intoxicating substances inhibit our ability to think and act clearly and logically, which can very quickly lead to the suffering of either ourselves or those around us. The second of the Panch Vartman is to never consume meat. We are prohibited from consuming meat in any form, including eggs and fish. Even if the meat has been offered as the prasad of a deity or the offerings of a yagna, we should absolutely abstain from eating it. Along the same vein, we should not take any medicine that contains meat, even if it is crucial for our well-being. The third of the Panch Vartman is to never steal anything, even in the name of Dharma or for Bhagwan. Even for the smallest thing, such as a single flower, we should always ask the owner of whatever item we wish to take before taking it. The fourth of the Panch Vartman is to never commit adultery. Followers of the Swaminarayan Sampradaya, both men and women, must maintain the utmost respect for each other and behave in a proper and spiritual way with each other. It is said that male Gruhastha followers should view all women, except for their wife, as a sister, mother, or daughter. And likewise, all female Gruhastha followers should view all men, except for their husband, as a father, brother, or son. The fifth of the Panch Vartman is to never consume impure food. Now, purity of food is not just in hygiene, but also in the way that the food was prepared and by whom the food was prepared. Impure food basically constitutes any food that has not been prepared in an environment that is holy, clean, and free of meat and alcohol. Furthermore, the food must have been offered to Bhagwan after it was prepared. The spiritual argument behind this rule has to do with the 3 Goons, which are the forces of nature that influence our actions, emotions, and physical well-being. The first Goon is Sattva Gun, the force of good, which keeps us at peace. The second Goon is Rajogun, which is the force of passion, and it invokes desires for material items within us. And the third and final Gun is Tamogun, the force of ignorance, which causes laziness, depression, carelessness, and irrationality. What we consume and how we live causes us to get out of the cyclical nature of the gunas, or causes us to stay trapped in their cyclical nature. When you really think about it, the foresight that Bhagwan Swaminarayan had when he crafted these 5 simple rules to guide his devotees was simply astonishing. This simple set of guiding principles has prevented all those who have followed them properly from falling into any troubles arising due to any ignorance or material passion. And in many, many instances, those who have followed these 5 simple rules have gained so much and moved so far ahead in life in terms of happiness and prosperity. By not consuming meat and alcohol, we save so many animals, others around us, and ourselves from so much cruelty, heartache, and pain. By abstaining from theft and adultery, once again, we save other humans and ourselves from grave troubles and sadnesses. And by refraining from the consumption of impure food, we are able to ensure that we maintain the utmost mental, bodily, and spiritual purity within ourselves. If you take a closer look at all that is happening in the world around us today, most of the bad news you'll see ultimately has its roots in the violation of one of these Panch Vartman. And it's not even necessary to be a follower of the Swaminarayan Sampradaya to follow these 5 very simple rules. Anyone searching for happiness, peace, and prosperity can find them in these 5 principles. See, by following these 5 very simple rules, we can ensure our happiness and success both in this world and the world that comes after. Jai Swaminarayan.